Hello everyone, I'm the Gamer from down here, back when today guys, I am reading another Pokemon Creepypasta. This one is titled Disabled. It is a creepypasta, therefore viewer discretion is advised. Also, I highly recommend that you check it out, the creepypasta. Also, this is take 4. My microphone here is being a bitch, so I'm not using it. And without further ado, let's work on this. Disabled. When it comes to Pokemon, my favorites have always have to be Jigglypuff and Wigglytuff. When I was a little girl, I'd dream of having a puffy Jigglypuff. I was even used to having a bunch of Jigglypuff and Wigglytuff plushies. They would surround my pillow each night. I would cuddle with a different one to make sure that they each got some love. Anytime a Jigglypuff or Wigglytuff used to sing, I would hum the little tune with them, thinking it would make the chances better for the opposing Pokemon to fall asleep. I was very naive back then, but it was blissful ignorance, to be honest. Hell, I even played Jigglypuff in the Brawl games. I didn't care if anyone else liked her. I did. So when I got my hands on Soul Silver when it first came out, I, of course, made it my mini mission to find a Jigglypuff or Wigglytuff. I went through the game, waiting for the Puffs and Tuffs to show up. I encountered the occasional trainer with Puff or Tuff, but soon found out that Jigglypuffs could only be caught in one set area, which I later found out to be the game's Safari Zone. And Wigglytuffs could not be found in the wild area for me at all. At that point, the Safari Zone was not active for me, so I was stuck waiting a little longer to capture my beloved Puff. After a week or so of battling and schoolwork, the Safari Zone was finally available. I went there at once. I went there at once. I had a chance to go. And I went on the hunt for Jigglypuff. And of course, it was not easy. I ran into maybe 8 the first trip. Lost all 8 of them. I remember calling my DS Lite a cheater. The next day, though, I finally got my first Jigglypuff. I happily named her Juin, and put her into my party ASAP. It took me some time to get her level up with the rest of my team, but it was well worth it for me. I even kept her sing, since it felt so nostalgic to hear that lovely tune again. Sadly, school got busy for me for a while. I was forced to put my game on hold, but once I got my free time back, I went right back to work, making sure all my Pokemon loved me, especially my Juin. But I still didn't have my Wigglytuff. I didn't want to lose Juin, so I thought about getting an already evolved Wigglytuff, since the Safari Zone had proven its dislike of me. So I set out on the wireless trade, and asking for a Wigglytuff. Any gender, any level. I wasn't picky after that. But now I wish I had been picky. In exchange for a few Wigglytuff, I put out a wonderfully bred todadile. It had some killer moves, even for level 6. I'm going to do this real quickly so that you guys can hear me even better. I waited for hours, thinking that someone would see the quality right away and send a trade. I waited for days. Maybe someone would just who happened to want a todadile to raise. Nearly 2 weeks had passed. I still had no response. I had already given up hope and was ready to use a moonstone and drew on. I ended up checking one last time to make sure. I wanted to get my todadile back somehow, if no one was going to take him. But it didn't send me to the menu for the wireless trading. Instead, I got the dramatic evolving music, and then a Pokeball came flying from the top screen to the bottom. Finally, I caught my Wigglytuff. I quickly logged out to see my new friend, a female Wigglytuff, level 26. The name was a bit odd, though. Disabled. In all caps. I didn't get why someone would name a Wigglytuff that, but I'd seen stranger names for Pokemon. I just wish I could have changed it, but for some reason you could never change the name of the Pokemon traded. It This information was a bit odd, though. I was never one for those kinds of details, or learning the meanings behind those details. Gloomy nature, and it only knew one move: sing. I didn't recall ever seeing Gloomy before, but I had seen Timid, so I figured if they can be shy, they can be depressed. Though you would have to wonder, what Pokemon would be gloomy? And the fact that it only knew Sing did bug me. It would have been nice if its previous trainer had left some more moves, but I had some nice TMs to try on it anyway. Despite all the offer information, I was eager to try the Wigglypuff out in battle. I checked my trainer's bag and picked the best TM. I was almost sure it would work. I ended up picking Hidden Power, Swagger, and Explosion. I headed over to the nearest path of grass and walked around aimlessly looking for a fight. The battle music came up on the Pokemon, and the Pokemon was a Ponyta. I picked Fight, and it used Sing. I just wanted to make Wigglytuff's first fight easy. It failed. Well, I knew Sing didn't always work, so I didn't think anything of it. Ponyta used Tail Whip. It was cute, but it only lowered my defense. It was my turn again, so I used Hidden Power. I just wanted to see if I was in the right place for it. I wasn't, since it barely made a neck into Ponyta's HP. It used Tail Whip again. I figured that the game was using that same trick that the lower level Pokemon used. This time I tried Sing again. The screen acted like it had used Sing, but there's no sound. Sing was disabled. I just stared at my screen. How was Sing unusable? Was it a stupid trick? I let the Ponyta use its Tail Whip again, but then Jigglypuff shook a little bit, like it was suffering from an effect. I saw its sprite change. But then I realized I probably got a glitchy Pokemon. I cussed a bit, pissed that I lost a good Pokemon for Act 1. I didn't want this one messing with my game, so I picked Run. Disabled. Wants to fight. You could not leave the battle. Oh, come on! I remember saying out loud. I kept thinking that I was probably about to ruin my game, and I thought Ponyta was about to attack this turn, but it didn't. Its little sprite shook like it was poisoned. Ponyta was frozen in fear. It might not attack. I knew this was getting too weird. I tried to pick Run, but another weird text box came up. Disabled. Wants to fight. You cannot leave this battle. I didn't even see that the text was different this time. I was able to pick another option. I couldn't run, so I fought. I tried Hidden Power again. Hidden Power was disabled. I had to pick another one. I tried Swagger. Swagger was disabled. What was it doing to its moves? All these questions popped up into my head, one after another. What did that guy who gave me this Wigglytuff do? I have to escape. I can't keep this Pokemon. I knew I could just turn off my game, but I wanted to see what was happening. I wanted to see what was wrong with my Wigglytuff. I was stuck with only two options: Sing and Explosion. Seeing that Sing was already disabled from past attempts, I could only use Explosion. The move would take out my Wigglytuff, and Ponyta too, ending the battle. I thought this maybe was a good thing. Explosion was disabled. I didn't even have a chance to react before more text came up. Sing disabled, tried using Sing. Sing was disabled. It was doing it on its own. The sprites started shaking a bit more, obviously. Ponyta is frozen in fear. It can no longer escape from the battle. I felt my heart started to pound. Maybe this was what the Ponyta was feeling at the time. Disabled tried using Sing. Sing was disabled. 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 That goes on for about 10 more. More like 11 more things. Each time the text passed the Wigglytuff's sprite turned darker and darker. Disabled, you struggle. I watched in horror as the Wigglytuff used Jiggle, like it had no other moves to use. Most of the time it didn't even hit the Ponyta, just a Wigglytuff, like it was hurting itself. The Ponyta finally fled from the battle, and the sequence ended. I wish I could have gone with it. Since Jigglypuff was my first in the party, it walked alongside me on screen. The colors looked dirty and red could be seen on it. I turned my character to talk to it. Dots. It didn't say anything to me. I tried again, becoming strangely desperate to figure out what was happening to the Wigglytuff I was so joyed to finally have. Dots. I just wanted to sing. I wasn't sure who was talking. Maybe it was a voice actor? I talked to it again. Why can't I sing? Just sing. Sing. Each time I spoke to it, its cries grew softer and softer, like it was a toy breaking. I began to feel bad for the Wigglytuff, and headed back to the city to heal it. It was the least I could do before I turned my game off, taking it back to the time when I barely just got it before I used it. Sadly, we didn't get far. We encountered another Pokemon battle, another Ponyta. I picked Run, but just like last time, Disabled wants to fight. You cannot escape the battle. No one had time to react to what was happening during this fight. Ponyta was too slow for some reason and was stuck in the battle. The option menu did not come up for me. Disabled tried using Sing. 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 Sings. There's so much text that moved off the box itself. It was finally glitching out, I thought. Disabled used Jiggle. It struggled and 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 struggled. With each struggle, Jigglypuff took more and more damage. Though this time, the wild Ponyta got hit more. This time too. The wild Ponyta fled. I thought the fight was over, but the battle screen stayed up. I began mashing the buttons, thinking maybe it was just going to talk again. I needed to press A or B. The screen faded and changed to the evolving screen. I couldn't speak. My heart sank and I felt my eyes water. The once normal Jigglypuff sprite was faded. Its left ear was torn off, the red pixels covering it, the broken end. Its tired eyes were pitch black, with only red dots to show its pupils. Even its mouth had red coming out from it, like blood was dripping out. Why can't I sing? Why? Can you sing? Yes or no? I picked no. I just wanted this to end. You're lying. You can sing. Give me your sing. Yes or no? I had no about 4 or 5 times. Sing. The speakers let out a high-pitched screech, making me drop my DS to get it away. I ran out of my room calling a friend. I couldn't touch the game after that. The friend came over, seeing as I could not hide the panic I was feeling. She laughed at me. I told her that I wasn't touching the game. She picked it up for me and looked at it, shaking her head as she turned it off and closed it. She handed it back to me. I think you broke it, she told me, leaving my room and heading for the living room. She stayed with me for the rest of the day and night. I couldn't get the image out of my head. The next morning, with my friend sitting next to me, I put the wigglytuff up for trade. I found someone else was offering a Cyndaquil in exchange for a wigglytuff. I hit the button as hard as I could, wanting it to hurry up. The trade went through. I still have that Cyndaquil. Whoever had him named him Hurry. And that, my viewers, was the Pokemon Creepypasta Disabled. Honestly, it was a little more sad. It wasn't as scary, but it was a little bit more sad. Although, I am used to sad creepypastas. I mean, I still can't get over Strangled Red. Anyway, though. So that you guys can understand some stuff about it, let me explain to you some of the stuff, since we still have a bit of time left in this episode. So, here's what happened, and why. Okay. For the people that are watching my channel that don't know Pokemon, or haven't, and don't know what was happening, and don't exactly understand the story, let me explain. So, Jigglypuff and Wigglytuff are two Pokemon of the same evolution line. The Wigglytuff... Now, here's the thing. One of their signature moves, I counted as a signature move, even though it's technically not, is a Sing, which if it lands, it has a chance to put the opponent to sleep. Now, here's the thing. First things first, about the Savara Zone. We all hate the Savara Zone because the Savara Zone's kind of bad. It's really difficult to catch Pokemon there. But, aside from that, let's move on to the actual battles, because there are most likely some confusing things there. So, early game, the AI will use defense/attack lowering moves on you, and it's normal at this point for Pokemon players. So that was why the Ponyta was working normal. And also, the reason why the author wasn't surprised that Sing missed first time was because, well, Sing isn't guaranteed to hit. But then, it said Sing was disabled. Now, and I'm only explaining this for you guys that don't know Pokemon. There is a move in Pokemon called Disable. The move Disable, pretty much, the move Disable will completely remove the ability of the user, completely remove the ability for the opposing Pokemon to use said move, if said move is hit by Disable. Here's the thing though, that Ponyta did not have Disable, nor did it use Disable. But it was still disabled. And the fact is that shouldn't happen. Also, the moveset wasn't as good, but it wasn't bad. Don't know why it gave fucking explosion to a Jigglypuff. I mean, to a Wigglytuff, but whatever. Anyway, though, in the lore of Pokemon, Jigglypuffs and Wigglytuffs like to sing. So that explains why it really wanted to sing so badly. And also, the name Disabled, it means that all the moves would be disabled. If you have no power points, aka uses of a move left on your Pokemon, then the only move that they can use is Struggle, which does barely, it does some damage, but it also damages yourself. But also, Gloomy is not a nature. Timid is a nature. But, so yeah. So obviously, at the very beginning, there's a lot of things wrong with this Wigglytuff. The fact is, though, is that also they should have been able to run away from that Ponyta. Ponytas don't get that high of level. The only explanation for why they couldn't run away from the battle was because that Wigglytuff that they got was really broken. Like, really glitched out. Anyway, though, so yeah. That should explain to you guys why Disabled is why the author is so concerned. If you have any more questions, please let me know in the comments below. Also, I just want to say, I love the reference at the end of Disabled because it's a reference to one of the most popular Pokemon creepypastas. Actually, I've recently learned Lavender Town Syndrome is not as popular as this one. The Cyndaquil named Hurry is a direct reference to Pokemon Lost Silver. And Pokemon Lost, you can, to recap, although I did cover it on a earlier video, in Pokemon Lost Silver, they play a hacked version of Pokemon Pokemon Heart Gold Soul Silver, and you get, but there's a Cyndaquil named Hurry, with also unknowns, which, if you don't know, the unknowns are these little Pokemon that are connected to Arceus, the god of all Pokemon. They are letters, and they have their own alphabet. So they said leave Hurry with all the unknowns as well as the Cyndaquil there. So yeah. Anyway, though, I just wanted to clear that up because, yeah. Anyway, though, if you have decided to stay this far and you liked the video, please consider subscribing. It helps my channel grow a ton, and I do this for my viewers so that I can make you guys happy. So, if you could subscribe, it's just a little thing. Notifications, you can turn off notifications, you can subscribe whenever you want. Also share this with your friends, just to let me get my essence out, not get popular, but get my content out there so that I can make more people happy and laugh. That's all that I really do this for. So yeah. Also, leave a comment. Leave a comment down below. I just put a poll to see what you guys want to see me play. I want to hear you guys' input. I recently got the computer back up and working so I can play Roblox again. Really, whatever you guys want. Anyway, though. So yeah, with all that being said, thanks for watching. And honestly, to the viewers that have stayed, thanks for indulging my weird obsessions and my weird content for so long. It means a lot to me that I can make a impact on you guys' lives. So really, thank you. And also before you say, and also, not before you say anything, also, I do want to mention, for the viewers that have met me in person, no, my voice is not like this. My voice is actually much deeper. There's a scientific reason why. I don't know. It's something with the fucking air particles. I don't know. I promise my voice isn't as squeaky. Anyway, though, yeah. Bye.